This is the Bill Squire Show.
And that's that.
Hey,
everybody. Welcome to
it.
a live episode of the Bill Squire Show. I am your host, Chubby Tumpkins, and over here is my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess today you're just a friend.
That's okay.
Mary
be a friend.
Santora.
Hello, hi.
And we're going to be doing this a few times while the Alan Cox Show is on Christmas, winter break, whatever you want to call it. And I think we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
You can interact with us. So if you want to go to the YouTube live stream, if you're there is a chat. So the Alan Cox Show, we don't do the chat. But here, that's the YouTube. That means we started. Okay.
Everything's working. We're just checking to make sure.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, because I have the computer that's hooked up to the board going. So let me turn that audio off.
Here you go.
So that if
Troubleshooting. We get it.
There we go. Now we got it.
Whoops.
So anyway, a little figuring out a couple different things because I have a pretty good setup at home to do all of this.
Yeah.
But I had to adjust it a little bit to do it here so that I have a little bit more control. Usually Alan's more in control. I'm just kind of editing us as we go.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get my feet a little bit wet, figure out what we're going to do. But like I said, you can call and leave a message. You can call 216-302-8783. Keep them short. We don't want to play super long messages on the show. And also, I'm just kind of doing it. I'm just going to play it. Like if you call and have a message, I'm just going to play it as is.
Yeah.
So that's that.
No one will have heard it before. No editing. No.
Hey, we got some people in the chat log. If you want to get on your phone, you can see you can see the chat that's happening.
Okay, sure.
If people want to interact with us.
You want to be distracted.
There's first things first.
Yes.
This is on YouTube, not over the air.
Yes.
So we can say bad words.
I'm probably not going to, just so I don't get
used to it in here?
used to it. Yeah. Like being in this room and cursing doesn't feel okay.
Right.
And I don't want to be, I would probably not going to. But if I do it and it happens, no big deal. But
what if we're doing it in control just so people, because they're asking for it?
You do it.
I'll do it. I'll go first. I don't mind because I know I talked to Jason today. I know it makes me incredibly nervous too. It feels weird swearing in here. Even when we're on break, sometimes we'll swear. Just having a conversation with each other. But it's not a place I usually swear. But since people want to hear the old someone's already talking crap about shut up Nick. He said Justin Tucker banished the Browns to Jumanji. No, they just
okay.
That's
all
right. He's a Steelers fan anyway. He's just rubbing it in.
That's right.
But I like Nick. All right, so let's do a swear word. I'm gonna go with one that is pretty heavy. Shit fuck.
That's a big one. I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
You can't do
I'm
it?
too nervous.
You're just gonna leave me over here? Just high and dry?
Yeah.
I can't believe you
What
did
if we're
that to
going
me.
out over the air right now?
We're not, because
How do you
I talked
know?
with Jason, and he basically shut this board off, so it is not going to go over the air.
Yeah.
Like, he made sure, he told me exactly what he did. It's not going over the air.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the pots up to go over the air, so it's safe to say a swear word if you want to.
Maybe it'll slip out.
It'll
later.
happen. Yeah. See, now I wish I could isolate things. Maybe it'll slip out later.
Maybe.
Oh, here's some. People are suggesting some. People want to hear you say an F-bomb.
Applehead pea face. I can say that one. That one works.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in so far. I think we'll have a lot of fun here. I think this is going to be a good time. I spent all morning doing like behind the scenes stuff, and we'll get to that later. But you had to go to Home Depot?
Lowe's.
Okay.
So
do you prefer Home Depot or Lowe's?
I prefer Lowe's.
Okay.
It looks nicer inside.
Is it like the color thing?
It's 100% aesthetic.
Yeah.
I think it looks cuter in Lowe's than it does in Home Depot.
Have you been to Menards?
I have not, but
Menards
I don't know if
is
there's
clean.
a close one.
There's one in Avon, but I don't think they do lumber. They might. But,
I don't need lumber.
Right,
I live in an apartment.
you said lumber store earlier.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
When you were telling me about it, you're like, I had to go to the wood store or something like that. Yeah.
No, I'm not building anything or anything like that.
No, but like Menards has a lot of the same stuff that you like, tools and stuff like that. And it's really clean and really bright.
Yeah.
All right.
So I went to Lowe's. I had to pick up he's not going to listen to this. I picked up a present for my boyfriend. Okay. So he moved into a new house and I'm asking him like what he wants for Christmas, and he's I don't want anything, just being annoying about it. Where I was like, you got to give me something to get you, And so I was like, what's something for your house that maybe you don't want to spend money on? So like something that you need, but you're like, oh, whatever, And so he sent me a link to a ladder. Because I guess he doesn't have a ladder, and he wanted to hang up Christmas lights. He has like a step stool for his daughter who's 4, and he like tried to. He's 6'1", so but he like tried. He's
tall,
to
but he's not that tall.
Right.
Like you can reach, but you need to be up almost level with the roof if you're hanging lights.
Exactly. So he sent me a link to this ladder that was like really generic and plastic looking, and it was only like $50. And my thing is with house stuff, and I don't have a house, but when I'm purchasing items that I'm going to have for a long time, I want to buy something nice.
A one-time purchase, you spend the extra money because you're going to use it and you can have it forever.
That's exactly how I felt about it. And he sent me like, it looked like a little kid's plastic ladder. I'm like, I'm not buying you this. Like, this is stupid. So I went to Lowe's to get a little giant, which it's like adjustable and it can go all over and whatever. It was a little bit more expensive, but it's got great reviews. And I was like, okay. Now, what I said to you is I hate going to a like home improvement store and doing something dumb, because then I think that they're judging me. They're like, oh, this broad, you know what I mean? So,
and let me assure you, they 100% are.
I know that they are, which is what's annoying, because I'm like, I know.
Like if it were a nail shop where they could speak another language, they would be talking a ton of shit right to your face.
I'm sure that they would. So I just don't like doing that. So I try to be not like on my best behavior, but I try not to ask stupid questions, or I try, because I don't want to perpetuate that stereotype that like women don't know anything, or like we don't belong in home. And I want to be clear that no one's ever made me feel that way. No one's ever made me feel dumb. I am 100% projecting that.
Just
where
in
I'm
your head about it.
Yeah, like the last time I was in there buying an air conditioner, I was trying to use that. I don't even know what they're called. The big, long, like flat carts.
Like the hand carts.
Yes, but it's not like a regular shopping cart. It's just a piece of metal. That's it. I don't know what they're called.
Hand carts.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I tried to turn a corner, and I like ran into the thing, and everything shook, and then there was a guy with a car, and so like dumb stuff like that where I'm like, oh man, these guys are looking at me like I don't even know how to drive this stupid hand cart or whatever. So what I did, I bought the ladder, I got it outside, and I'm trying to get it in my car. And I was like, oh, I'll just put it in my trunk, and I realized my trunk wasn't big enough. So I like had my trunk open, and I'm moving things around, and I like picked up the ladder. I'm trying to get it in the trunk, and I see guys just like other customers just like looking at me. And so then I like closed the trunk and then went into the back seat, and then I had a bunch of stuff in my back seat. So I'm like trying to take the stuff out of my back seat, and like probably 4 different dudes came up to me. One guy was like, "Did you need help with that?" Like, so I'm like, "No, I got it. I just got to move some stuff around." And then I had a glass, like I had just a drinking glass in my car that I forgot about. And when I went to go shove the ladder into the back seat, I shattered the glass everywhere.
Okay, wait. This is the most appalling thing of all to me. You just bring regular glasses into your car?
If I have something to drink in them, yeah. If I'm like drinking in the morning and I have something in it, I'll take it with me in the car.
That is wild to
really?
me. Yes.
You don't just take cups with you?
No.
Why not?
Nobody does.
I feel like that's a pretty common thing to do.
I don't think to take like a mug or something that's made portable that has like a lid on it. Yes, that's common to do.
You don't just take
but just like a glass.
Yeah.
Like you don't take like a pint glass and just like put it in your cup holder.
I had 3 of them in my car.
and you know why you don't do that? Because they'll shatter.
Yeah. Well, I don't plan on putting ladders in my backseat every other day. So I take it and I like shattered it, and I was like, damn it. So then I like had to take the ladder back out, and now I'm cleaning glass out of my car. And another guy comes up and he's like, is that too heavy for you to lift? And I'm like, no, I'm just clumsy. Like I was just getting mad at them. Like I'm not an idiot. I'm not too weak. I just am stupid and broke glass all over the back of my car. So then I'm like trying to clean out the glass, and then I like had the whole, because the glass is.
Sorry, I'm my own worst. I'm trying to share this on social media.
You're fine.
Too.
I like the glass broke in like a weird circular way, almost in half, and then when I went to go take it out of the car, I dropped the top half. So then there was glass all over by my car, and so people kept looking at me like I was struggling with the ladder, like I couldn't lift it, or like there wasn't enough room, or like this dumb bitch can't even fit a ladder in her backseat. And I was like, no, I just broke glass. Like I'm just trying to like, but a bunch of, probably 4 different guys. One guy tried to help me when I was trying to get it in the trunk, and then it clearly didn't fit. And then another guy, I was like, no, I just broke glass. And then when I was walking over and I shattered the glass on the ground, then I was trying to pick up the glass, and the guy's like, did you need help? And then finally I get this ladder in my car, and another guy walks up to me. And again, this is definitely me projecting it, but another guy walks up to me as I'm like going to push the handcart back, and I've
been corrected. It's a flatbed.
Flatbed, so, whatever it is. When I'm trying to push that back, and I thought he was gonna. I know I'm projecting it. I was like on the defense already, and he was like, "Did you?" And I was like, "I'm just taking it back like that." And he was like, "I was gonna ask if I could use it," and I was like, "Oh yeah." I'm like so hyper aware of those situations because
you're uncomfortable because you're out of your comfort zone, and so.
And it's
every
already
little
a
mistake.
Stereotype.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, I have a bit about it where it's like when I have to ask for help or ask like where something is, I feel like less of a man because I'm like, so where's the plumbing stuff? When it's all labeled and like, you know, or like I was buying a stepladder one day and I had to ask where a stepladder was because that's a hard item to find in the store. Yeah. Like it's in a weird spot in Home Depot. I don't know what, probably same at Lowe's. It's not like the easiest thing to find. Yeah, I think I'm not even, it's not that I'm nervous to go in there. I'm not nervous to. You going into a Home Depot or a Lowe's looking like that's me going into Victoria's Secret to buy underwear. Yeah. Like back in, like when I cared more. Yeah. But like when the first time I'd go in there to like get a gift for a girlfriend or my ex-wife, I'd be like, so I'm here for my wife, and I just want you to know that's why I'm here. I have a wife, and I'm wearing a ring right now. I have a wife, and I got to get her something, and this is the size. And I know that you don't try them on. I know you don't do that. Right. That's not how it works. And so you got to be real, like, you're just ultra nervous about it, and you're in your own head about it. Yeah, that's basically what it is. And so when I do dumb little things like that, then I'm like, God, here it is, just perpetuating a stereotype. And it's just, and I only make it worse by going into it with that mentality. And I know that. And the thing is too, like when you're in that situation, like even just looking for her size, if I'm buying her underwear, like digging through there's nothing that makes you feel more uncomfortable than that. And everybody's like watching and you're like, they're not for me. Even if they were for me, why are you judging? You know, it's right. It's a whole thing. But you get defensive about stuff like that because one, you like to know what you're doing. Yes. And two, when you know something, you don't really speak on something if you don't know. I will straight up tell you I don't know. Right. If I don't know the answer, I am fully fine admitting ignorance and just be like, yeah, I've never heard of that before. And this is something that bothers you sometimes because you'll tell me something and then I'll immediately Google it. And you'll be like, what the hell? Don't you trust me? And the reason I don't trust you, and here's a good example. Last week, I got a new pair of shoes and they are Pumas. And this guy hits me up and he's like, I'm like, they're not Jordans, but I like them, you know, so that's cool. He's like, actually, they're kind of Jordans because Nike owns Puma. And I was like, oh, really? I didn't know that. And then I was like, I don't think it's Nike that owns Puma. So I Google it. Nike owns Converse. I knew that. Okay. But they don't own Puma. And so I hit the guy back. I'm like, hey, actually, they don't own Puma, so just so you know. And he's like, oh, I thought they did. And he doesn't, he's like, now he knows. I know. But that happens a lot. So when you tell me something, I have to remember that you won't tell me a fact or tell me something like that if you don't know for sure, because there's a lot of people that will tell you something. Yeah. And they'll just be like, oh, I thought that was right. Oh, well. Right. Yeah. Well, this was one of the first fights that my boyfriend and I had. Yeah. Is he would do that constantly. I would tell him something. He wouldn't believe me. And then he would like ask somebody else. Like it's the dumbest things, but I let it. And here's the thing. Since being in my last relationship, I never used to say anything that bothered me. So I kind of overcorrected and I communicate too much. And I know that it's something I'm working on, but like, we were driving to Columbus and I had the GPS going and I got off at our exit and he goes, oh, are we getting off here? And I was like, what else would we be doing here? And he's like, I just didn't know that this was the exit. I'm like, do you want to look at the GPS? Like, because why would I get off here if this wasn't the exit to get off on, Well, and then go ahead. The reason is we just want to be sure. Okay, but and again, it's condescending. It drives me wild. It is condescending. It's 100% condescending. It is, but also there's so many people that I've dealt with that are just wrong and do things wrong, and just like don't know they're doing something wrong until it's like way too late to fix it. that you go and you get used to being around those people, especially when you have kids.
Right.
And you get into that mindset where you're constantly teaching people things and then reteaching them. It heightens it. And he's got a kid that's at that age where he's always kind of, he's not trying to make her feel dumb. He's trying to help her do things the right way.
Right.
And so you get into that mode, because I've done this a lot less since my kids have gotten older. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, that's true. But like a very small, minuscule thing that made me real mad. We went to a restaurant that he had never been to before. Restaurant he had never been to, a restaurant I had frequented. Okay? Yeah. I've been there 100 times. And so we ordered vegan mac and cheese. And I was like, and he's eating it. He's like, oh, I wonder what kind of milk this is made with. And I said, oh, it's almond milk. And he's eating it. And he was like, I just can't really tell. And I was like, it's almond milk. And then he looked at me, he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And then when the waitress came back, he goes, what kind of milk is this made with? And she was like, almond milk. And I like kind of just threw my hands up. And I was like, I've been here 100 times and ordered this dish.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And we had to have a conversation about it, because I was like, listen, I know that you're not. And I think this goes back to just being a woman. Nobody trusts, for a long time, nobody trusts what you say. Yeah. Or especially in a male-dominated field, when I'm like in stand-up or bartending or whatever.
Well, and then I think you carry that chip on the shoulder, because it's like, I think everyone's an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot, so everyone else is an idiot.
I'm not saying I don't do dumb things.
So when people tell me things, I go, I need to know for sure. I need to know for sure.
He said the exact same thing.
And more people confirming doesn't mean I thought you were wrong. It's just I need to know for a fact from other people. I want that confirmation.
I totally understand that. And when we had this conversation, and I gave him like 5 examples of when he did it, and I'm like, I've had this opposition my whole life. Yeah. Okay. Not just as a woman, but like as a bartender working at a craft beer and whiskey bar, when I would suggest something, a guy would ask me about a beer, and I would say, oh, this is the type of beer you want. Here are the flavor profiles. This is the kind of food it would pair with. We just got it in. I'll give him a sample. And then he would turn right around and ask a male bartender the same questions. And I'm like, that dude has been working here 2 weeks. Yeah. I am a certified beer geek who's been working here for 5 years. I go on retreats. I do this. I do that. And so it's just aggravating when it's mostly men that don't believe what I say, and then they like double check it, and it absolutely drives me insane.
But now you don't know anything about beer.
No, I still know about it. I just don't drink it as much. That's all.
As much?
At all.
I'm like, we've been off one day.
No, I know, right? No, I didn't relapse.
Well, no. I just like to make sure that everything is just
And that's what he said. He was like, I'm not trying to be condescending. It's not that I don't trust you because you're a woman. He's like, it's just that I like to know things for sure. I said, then don't ask me.
Right.
That's it. If you are going to Google it anyway, don't ask me. And he's like,
but if you're having a conversation
don't ask me.
And you're just kind of bouncing things around.
Pick your phone up and Google it. Because if I tell you and then you Google it, I'm only going to get mad.
Yeah.
And I straight up, and that's the thing that I do like about this relationship, is we are very upfront and very honest and can say things like, and he says stuff like that to me back, and then we know not to do it in the future.
Right.
It's so weird to be 31 and learning how to be
learning how to communicate and stuff like that. But that's the thing is, some people figure that out young, but I think there's plenty of people that still don't know how to do that. I mean, my mom and dad still fight like that, where my mom, because my dad is always right. And then when you tell him, like, oh, you're always right, he's like, no, I'm not. I mess things up all the time. And he's like, yeah, we'll let you know the next time you admit to it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, but I'm always right.
Or just telling your partner when you do or don't like something that they do or something like that. Not even in a malicious way. Like just, hey, I would appreciate if you didn't do, and just saying it right when you feel it. And then I had a tendency to build things up and let it go. And then 4 or 5 times it'll happen, and then I'll blow up. You know what I mean?
And that's definitely how I was with my ex-wife. Like that
I think
was the thing.
Because you don't want the fight, or you don't want the fight, dumb,
or you just are programmed to not voice your distaste. Like saying something you don't like is rude, or just not how you're built. Like I was never able to say that. Yeah. Like I never felt comfortable telling people what I did or didn't like.
Yeah.
So you're just always very agreeable, even when you don't like something.
Yeah.
And it's not a good way. And then you don't know actually how to tell people you don't like things, and that's why it gets to the point where whenever you tell someone you don't like something, you're at the level of anger rather than just like, hey, just letting you know, not this way.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't do this anymore or whatever. Or, there have been times like he'll do something, I'm like, I don't like it when you do that. And he'll like turn and look at me, and I'll be like, what? Like, I just want you to know that I don't like that when you say that or when you do that or whatever. And he's like, all right, I'll work on it. And he does the same thing to me. Hey, Don't talk to me that way, or whatever it might be.
Bill sounds very pretentious, talking about correcting a dude about Pumas.
Yeah.
How many wheels are in this conversation at this moment? This is a no-wheeled conversation. This is a sled on a dry sidewalk.
2 wheels. But yeah, that doesn't bother you. You don't feel if someone were to ask you something and then immediately...
No, because they have the same mindset of me as like, I told you that, and they go, okay, and they look up and go, yeah, see?
I also don't ask people questions that I don't think would know the answer. So, like, I would not ask you, if it were me, you, and Cody in a room, I would not ask you a question about gay culture. I would ask Cody.
Right.
Like, I go to the who I think would know.
But even like something like someone volunteering information, where like maybe you volunteer some information to me, and I go, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you for information,
Okay,
but you're giving it to me.
Someone just...
And then I go, oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to confirm it just to make sure. Because there's plenty of times where people will volunteer information.
And a lot of people spew BS. And
Yes, they'll just say whatever they want. So another thing that I was looking through, I get on Imgur a lot, which is like my favorite social media because you don't really have to... I've
never even been on it.
It's great because it's really just like meme dumps and like there's funny comments on there, but you're not actually interacting with people you know at all, really. And I like that. And I really just am kind of a lurker there where I don't even really post often or anything like that. It's like Reddit without all but the comments are a little more separate and different. So one of the dumps that was on there the other day was pictures of the mall in the 80s and 90s. Mm-hmm. And it was like one of those things where when you look back at it, you're like, man, that could have been my mall. Yeah. Like you see the Burger King. I don't know if you went to a mall that had a Burger King in it.
My mall growing up was Great Northern.
Okay. So I went to that one pretty regularly.
Yeah, they had a McDonald's. I don't think they had a Burger King.
Okay, so like the Summit Mall had a Burger King in it. And it was like a restaurant. But like it felt different going to that Burger King than any other Burger King because it was the mall Burger King.
Yeah.
And then there was, just all these different stores like the record stores and the JCPenney and Sears and all those different stores. And then there's one store that's still around, and that's Spencer's. Yeah. Of like, who would have thought that like walking through the mall in 1994, you're walking through the mall, you're seeing all these stores that are packed, and they go, which store of all these is going to be open in 26 years? You'd think they'd say Sears, they'd say the music store. Music's not going away. Mm-hmm. And then the one that survives all of it and is actually doing pretty well is fucking Spencer's. Well,
dude, people love gag gifts.
Yeah.
Like that's when you have, everyone knows that's where you go for whatever stupid thing or like because they have everything. Mm-hmm. Body jewelry, like sexy costumes, like dildo. You know what I mean? Like they have anything you could want. Dumb t-shirts, like.
And they've done a good job of they've always kind of had their pulse on the culture. Yeah. Whereas, all the other stores are like, you do things our way. Whereas Spencer's has always been like, basically memes were at Spencer's before they were anywhere else.
Yeah.
They are the inventor of like the
stickers, bumper stickers and all that dumb t-shirts
dumb crap.
And all that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, and you're right I think it's because I don't think I've ever walked into a Spencer's and seen anybody working who was like over 30. Yeah. That's the other thing. Their managers are 22 years old.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a store that like it's built around middle school kids, and then people that are like doing bachelor parties and stuff like that. But I remember going in there as like a 10 or 11-year-old, and they had the poster section in the back.
Oh my god!
And you go through all the posters and be like bands and movies.
This one's felt.
But then in the back, towards the end, you had to have somebody be the lookout while you went through the ones, and it was never like nude boobs. It was always just like they're bikinis or they're like can bra in it. But man, that was just like the best thing to go through.
I would always go to Spencer's for Christmas presents for people, like the little buttons, because they were only a couple bucks to get like stickers or buttons, or like my dad has a shirt. I don't know if he still wears it anymore, but I got it for him. I had to have been in middle school, maybe freshman year of high school. So it's been at least 15 years. And it's just a blue t-shirt. And on the front, it says, I beat anorexia. And it's like a 4X shirt.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And he has a shirt that says fat people are hard to kidnap. You know what I mean? Like those kind of gifts for that type of person, they'll never get old. You see everybody who has you see those people walking around, usually a mall or Cedar Point, and it says sarcasm loading. With
but then it goes even further back to the who farted shirts and I'm with stupid and just any bullshit shirt that was that was all stuff that was early Spencer stuff and the Mooney. Do you remember the Mooney?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so that's early stuff where it was a little stuffed animal guy and a big chubby guy, and you had this little pump on it, and when you squeezed the pump, he'd drop his pants.
Oh yeah.
That's what they were called. They're called Moonies, and so you'd put that in the back window, and then if somebody cut you off or you cut them off, you just squeeze the little thing and it's moons them.
Yeah.
Stupid. Oh, but I thought it was the funniest thing when I was a kid.
Oh yeah. Well, they had all kinds of not a fountain, but the guy would drink the beer and pee.
Yeah. All the crude jokes, which you didn't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
So all the crude stuff that's on the internet now was all there. So that was the early days of going online was more oh, we're gonna go and see stuff that we're not supposed to see.
Yeah.
At Spencer's.
You couldn't pass it around.
Yeah.
You can take a Polaroid of it and send it to your friends.
Nope. You just got to say, oh, I was at the mall and it was the funniest thing.
Right.
And you try and explain it to your friends and you're you're not doing a good job of explaining it. This is actually
it's like
really
a mug
stupid.
And it says FBI. But FBI, Dave needs female body inspector. That's the mug. You get it? But I think that the reason why it's been around for that long is because that demographic of people will never go away.
Yeah.
That's those people that love those gag gifts, and it's something stupid and silly. And you know what might be keeping Spencer's alive is white elephant gift exchanges.
Yeah.
Because it's a $10 limit and you're going to get something dumb.
It's that, and then they also have, just anything with pot on it.
True.
As the...
it's weedy.
Yeah, anything with a... And then they also were early on... the comic book hats and stuff like that, where it was Batman and Marvel stuff. They had all that crap way before it was in Hot Topic and before it was everywhere. Now it's everywhere, but it was there first.
I always wanted saying shirts. I remember that, and I would go to Urban Outfitters, and my older sister would take me there, and because they had. Exactly like they sound, shirts with sayings on them. So one said 90% angel, 10% devil. You know what I mean? I love those. I was 10 years old in the 2000s, in middle school in the 2000s, and that's what was big, was dumb shirts like that.
Yeah.
One just said G is for gangsta. That was one of my favorite shirts that I wore all the time because I just dumb shirts with sayings on them.
My early shirt that I go to Hot Topic when it was only in Parma Town Mall. Yeah. So it hadn't gotten franchised everywhere yet. It was that was the only one in the area, and me and my buddy would go there and buy Transformer shirts and stuff nobody had those at that time. Yeah. And so I remember. Where I had that, and I had a G.I. Joe shirt, and I don't know, maybe a band T-shirt or something, and I wore those 3 days in a row, and this kid just comes up to me. I didn't even really know him. He's like, "Dude, you have the best shirts," and I was like, "Thanks, man."
Yeah, I do.
He's like, "Where'd you get them?" I'm like, "This place called Hot Topic," and
God.
He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "It's in Parma Town Mall." He's like, "You went to Parma?" Because in Medina, it was a 40-minute drive, and. It made me feel very cool but then I realized that kid's also a nerd. I'm like, oh, this is not that cool. Yeah, but it was cool to you. It was cool to me, yeah. It didn't matter if he was a nerd or not. Yeah. But it was fun. Hot Topic is where I would go I would always go and look at their jewelry. I always wanted to get my belly button pierced, and all my friends would get their belly buttons pierced. This is when I turned on Hot Topic, when my kids started going in there and being like, I want to get gauges and I want to get all that stuff. And I'm like, not cool. Not cool. Not good for the youngins. No. You want to come over here, you get some Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Yeah. It's cute. It's fun. You don't want to be over here in this section that's got, nose rings and belly button rings and all that stuff. Well, a couple of my girlfriends had their belly buttons pierced, and we were
we were like 13, probably 8th grade, is when they started. Our one girlfriend, like the slutty one, got hers done in 6th grade. You know what I mean?
Real quick side note. Next polar blast punishment for me, belly button piercing.
Oh, gross, dude. It's not like a cakewalk. It hurts. Yeah. And like you can't lay on your stomach and it rubs against your shirt and stuff. It's like an open wound under clothing, like just so you know. And if you don't keep it clean, it gets super infected and really, really gross. Just so you know, but that is absolutely hilarious.
That would be very funny.
But we would always go in because they did like 3 for $10 or something like that. It was cheap body jewelry, and they're like, "Oh, stainless steel, medical grade, yada yada yada." But and we would go in there, and I would always like dream of like maybe one day getting my belly button pierced, but I wasn't even allowed to shave my legs. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
you didn't ever had a tongue piercing either, though, right?
No, okay, I've only ever had my nose.
That was like the thing, and I feel like it's fallen out of favor, but like all the girls like 17, 18-year-olds, like when they're like juniors and seniors, would get their tongue pierced, and that was like the sluttiest thing. That's
a very 90s thing. Yes. I feel like tongue and eyebrow.
Yeah,
that's a moment in time. And if you had both, it was like, what a badass, you know?
Well, to girls it might have been badass, but to guys it's just like skank. That's what we thought immediately.
For a tongue ring?
Yeah, because for having your tongue pierced there was a Chris Rock bit. It said if a girl has her tongue pierced, she'll suck your dick. Yeah. If a guy has his tongue pierced, he'll suck your dick. Like, that was the whole thing. So that was just the thought on it. Like, it wasn't anything that I had actually experienced at all. Yeah. And then people were like, "Oh, have you ever made out with a girl with a pierced tongue? It's so cool." And then you do it, and you're like, I
don't think I've ever kissed somebody with a tongue ring.
All right. Call us and let us know.
I'm trying to think, because by the time I got into making out age, I had a high school sweetheart, and we were together until I was in college, and then people didn't really have tongue rings in 2010, you know what I mean, when I was single for the first time, and
it's also not...
I'm like trying to really think.
Like, it really was like a dude thing, and like by the end of the 90s, dudes weren't even doing it anymore.
The labret? That little piercing right in the... What was that?
I don't know.
That was very white trash, I feel like.
I feel like they're all kind of white trashy. Like, I never liked piercings. I never, like, saw one and was like, ooh, that's cool. Like, even, like, girls that get their nipples pierced, I'm like, I like that because it means you want to show me your boobs. Because you're like, hey, I got my nipples pierced. I'm like, cool, can I see? And then they show you. But
like, they're not going to get them pierced just for them.
Yes, exactly. But other than that, I never... Like, I don't dislike them. There's some I don't like. I don't like the gauges and stuff like that. But overall, I'm just kind of indifferent. Like, I don't even really see them a lot. Like, I forget that you have your nose pierced.
A lot of people.
My girlfriend has her nose pierced, and I forget about it all the time. Just because it becomes like part of your face.
Yeah, it's just I have this little silver tiny hoop that I've never. It actually goes in your what's the part of your ear right here? The little flat part.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever that's called. I think it starts with a C.
Just say a word, and then I'll Google it, and they'll tell you you're wrong.
Conkle?
Conkle is the...
No. It starts with a C, and it's this little ear, the little flap right there. I don't know if anybody can see it on the camera, where it's like not actually part of your ear. It's actually like, I feel like it's probably part of your face. But it's a hoop for that part of your ear. But my nose is so small, I couldn't get any nose rings that didn't look ridiculous on me.
All right, so it's a tragus?
Tragus! Not a conkle.
Not a conkle. It's a tragus. And then there's the anti-tragus. Ooh, they're enemies, but they're so close.
You know? Yeah, that's the one. So I actually had to find like a super little hoop. And then I'm sure I could find it somewhere else, but the tattoo shop that I bought it at went out of business. So I was like, well, this is the same hoop I'll wear forever then, I guess. I don't ever take it out. I don't know if you're supposed to clean it.
I don't know. I'm not the one to ask when it comes to piercings.
I feel like I treat body piercings like Brita pictures. Like I'm just, man, I'll change it once every year maybe.
I definitely need to change my Brita picture. Because like I'll buy 3 and I'll be very, very on top of it with the first 2. And then I get to the 3rd one and I go, well, you're the chosen one.
Right. This is the one.
You're the one that's going to keep my water pure for the rest of my life.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I was thinking about that today because I refilled. I was like filling up the pitcher and there was like black stuff in the top part of it. And I was like, man, I probably need to change my filter. And I was like, I know I bought filters at some point. I'm just going to have to go through my house and find them because I can't remember. I honestly don't know. I've been in my apartment since March and I know it hasn't been that.
Yeah. You should probably change it.
I know. It can't make you sick, right? It's not worse than tap water. People drink tap water all the time.
I mean, I feel like because it's just charcoal, I think, in there, so it's not going to like get moldy. I think it's like antibacterial stuff in there. So I don't know, but you should probably change it. I need to change mine too. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like, you never had contacts though, right?
No.
Okay, so I had contacts and I got LASIK about 12 years ago. And I would sleep with my contacts in all the time. And luckily, like I would take them off often enough that I didn't get like real bad. But it was definitely one of those things where I had to not wear contacts for like a month before they could do the surgery so that my eyes could heal enough so they could actually get through all the proteins that had built up on my eyes. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Well, like, it's on the road and I was just irresponsible.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm glad I don't have any issues like that, like with vision or anything, especially when I was drunk, because I would have never, there would have been no way. Be like sleeping in contacts with yesterday's makeup. Like, I feel like I would have just had a constant pink eye.
You would have just lost your eyes.
Oh my God.
You've gone blind.
Ugh.
All right. So we're going to take a quick little break here. And during the breaks, it's not commercials. It's just my girlfriend and I, who is more regularly on the podcast. So hopefully I think the volume should match up pretty good. So that'll be about 5-6 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about a few more things.
Hello. Go
ahead. You can introduce it. It's my podcast, but go ahead.
You force me to be on every episode.
I do not. I literally was trying to get out of this one. You might have to let the dog out.
Fuck the dog!
She's barking.
You're closer.
I can get the dog.
It's my podcast. This is my plan all along. Yeah. We're about to do a shot. Would anyone like to guess what our shot is of? It's not whiskey. And it is green. And no, it's not absinthe. We're not doing drugs today.
Nope, not absinthe. I can guess.
Ooh, guess.
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse. What do you like to call it, though?
Shardy.
Shardy. We're doing shots of shards.
Do a shardy shot.
Ugh, gross. Oof.
Wah. Buh. No.
Yes.
So this is actually going to play as a little break while I'm doing the live ones with Mary.
You're welcome.
So I think there's going to be 8 total of those.
How many of these do I need to do?
So we're gonna film more of these, but today we're gonna try and get 4 topics in, split them up,
right. Okay,
and then use those as the breaks for Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
So first thing we're gonna talk about.
First things first.
First things first.
What's first?
Taco Bell.
Fucking okay.
So she likes mild sauce.
Hold on,
because she can't handle hot sauce. It's a whole thing. She's this tough, rough and tumble lady.
Rough and tumble.
Mm-hmm. And then
you
give her
fire.
hot sauce.
I poop fire on purpose.
You give her a little bit of hot sauce, and she's like, "That's too much. Can't even handle flaming hot Cheetos." I had to introduce them to.
All right. Fuck you, first of all.
Why? What did I say that wasn't true?
The entirety.
Other than that.
That's it.
Okay. So just everything that I said.
It doesn't sound like a lot, right?
About her and hot sauce is not true.
If it will burn my mouth and then my butt coming out, give it to me 10 times hotter.
Okay. So here's how I feel about that. I don't know how people...
You take Tums every night before you go to bed.
Yes. I have indigestion problems,
Mm-hmm.
but my butthole does not taste hot.
Oh, it doesn't taste... Hold on. You're using words.
People always talk about their butthole burning, and I don't know this butthole burning thing that people are always talking about.
It doesn't taste hot? That's what you said.
Well, that's what my mouth does.
Your mouth tastes hot. That's understandable.
Yes.
Because your mouth has taste buds.
Right. And my butthole doesn't have taste buds. So this whole burning thing that people are always talking about is not something I experience. I don't get the burny feeling in my butthole. I don't have the burn and burn and burn in my butthole from eating hot stuff.
All right, challenge accepted.
You're trying to give me something that's so hot that it makes my butthole burn?
Yeah.
I've eaten a lot of hot things.
I don't disbelieve that. But
I'm just saying, when it comes out, it's in a nice cocoon of shit.
Okay,
that
this is taking a weird...
that protects
we were supposed to talk about Taco Bell sauces.
Well, this is what we're talking about now.
I am not a fan of...
I'm just saying, if you only eat hot things, you might have the burny butthole. But if you overindulge in other things, then there'll be enough poop in your body that when you poop out the hot stuff, it's going to be softened by...
The blow is softened by the fucking Crispix you eat this morning.
Exactly.
Fuck your Crispix and your fiber.
I like my Crispix.
I want my butt to be a flamethrower.
Why? Why are you doing this to yourself?
Well, I'm not on purpose, but it was just funny to say.
It was funny to say, and I approve this message. Hi, I'm Bill Squire, and I approve her Bernie joke. Bernie butthole flamethrower joke.
2020. Bernie buttholes. I hate you.
Just making a fart noise because it's midnight and I'm tired.
It's already midnight? Oh,
it's like close.
Oh, it's after midnight.
Oh, it's after midnight. So, yes.
I put my
but it's still
watch on
close.
today.
Hey, look at you.
I know. It was in my car for like a week and a half, and I'm fine with that. Anywho's.
Yes, that who's.
Taco Bell sauces.
Mm-hmm.
What's everybody's preference on Taco Bell sauces? Remember when there was only 3, and then there was a cute little fucking stuffed animal dog that said, "Yo quiero Taco Bell." Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember those good days?
It's not Yo Quiero Taco Bell. It's Tea Kettle Taco Bell.
Fuck off. No one. No, that dog does not have a tea kettle.
That's pound cake. Tea Kettle Taco Bell.
I might have one of those dogs in my mom's attic, and we can fucking talk about it. Pound cake.
Okay. He's also pound cake, so he hears his own thing.
But maybe not, because that's also funny. I want to put him in a tea kettle and give him to you for Christmas.
All right. That's the end of this segment. Thank you so much. We'll be back right now with Mary and Bill doing the Bill Squire Show. Make sure you guys subscribe and also
click the buttons.
Click the buttons. Like.
Buy the stuff.
Share.
There's stuff. Buy it.
Buy the stuff. All right, we're back. Sorry, we're still working on some of the kinks of all this. But this is pretty good. What'd you think of that?
Of what?
It's Sam and I talking. Just say we were funny.
It was great. Very funny.
She talks about wanting the hottest hot sauce so that it burns her mouth and her butthole.
Why?
I don't know. That's what she says.
I have no interest in that.
I'm with you, and also I don't have the burning when it comes out my butt.
Really?
Yeah.
Depending on what I eat, I will. Like, I like pepperoncinis on the side of pizza. Mm-hmm. And if I eat too many of those, I'll feel it.
You get the burny butthole?
Yeah. Or Flamin' Hot Cheetos, that's a big one. Hot wings, none of that?
No, it doesn't burn my butthole. Maybe I just have a crazy... Maybe it's because I have such bad acid reflux that it's all just coming up through my esophagus again rather than going out my butthole.
Maybe. I think acid reflux is just gas, but the actual spice of it...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think... I don't enjoy that. I am building up a tolerance to hot stuff a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Like, I used to only be able to have Frank's Red Hot, and I've, been looking for a new hot sauce. It's not, crazy hot. I like Cholula, I have that, but, something that's, one step up but isn't super hot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I used to eat mild salsa, and then now I had medium for a long time, and now the medium salsa doesn't taste like anything, so I'm I think I'm ready for hot salsa, you know?
Gotta be careful, though.
Why?
And sometimes it's good to take a little break. That way your taste buds will reacclimate to the spiciness of the other things. Because I don't like to burn my mouth out, but my girlfriend, she likes to just...
I don't like that
to be
either.
So hot.
But I eat hot sauce pretty much every morning
on
my eggs or omelet or whatever. So like Frank's is like cool, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's more, I don't know, like
more
tangy.
vinegary than anything,
than anything else.
I like sriracha.
I do not like sriracha. I don't like the flavor of it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it with certain things. Like I wouldn't eat it with eggs, but I like it with like Asian food.
Yeah, unless it's made for.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it works good with those. You want to hear some voicemails?
Sure.
Let's try playing some of these.
Plural?
Yeah, we got a couple.
Okay, sure.
All right, this one is from Nick. All right, hold on. Gotta figure out some of these little. Maybe it doesn't play right away. All right, just get that out of there. Just play it.
Hey, how you yins doing tonight? It's Nick. I just want to say congratulations to Mary, and I want to know who was running the video today, because whoever it is, he's doing a good job, or she. Bye.
The video today is actually just being run by me, but I did have someone helping out with the Alan Cox Show website today, and that was... I'll have to pull it up real quick because I'm going to be posting clips from the best ofs that we play. So today we talked about this basket building that's down in Columbus that is getting turned into a hotel apparently. Oh. And so it's a hotel that's a basket.
Here we go.
And this is from Kamala Hanford. Hanford. Yeah. What a dumb name.
What a dumb name. I don't know what I was being congratulated on, but thank you.
I think the album recording and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, well, I didn't know if it was
Nick
pertinent.
Comes to stuff, yeah.
I didn't know if it was pertinent to what we were talking about. Like, congratulations on getting the ladder in your car, or I don't know.
Well, I can't. Whatever it is, you did it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So instead of feeling dumb about getting the ladder in the car, he's proud of you for
it was just a process.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, dude, don't take glass in the car. And I get it. It seems, when you think about it, it seems dangerous.
Yeah,
like, if you get into an accident and now there's more glass.
Yeah, there's more glass, extra
being
glass.
Shattered.
All right, let's try this other one.
Hey, Bill and Mary, I just wanted to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. I don't know.
Well, real quick. So he said, hey, Bill and Mare, but the transcription on the Google Voice says, hey, Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear, yeah.
So I was wondering why.
That's a cute name for you, Build-A-Bear.
I think that's the name. Like when we do things together, it's Build-A-Bear or Build-A-Mare.
Yeah.
All right.
How long you guys are going to be doing this while Alan's on Christmas break, but y'all are sounding good so far. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Take care. I love you guys. Can't wait to hear more shit from y'all in the new year. Later, y'all.
I got nervous there. I'm like, oh, we got to dump. But I don't have to.
Play it.
We're going to be doing this. We're going to do it today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the following week.
Okay, I was going to say, we got to have some days off.
Yeah, because like the actual...
Because I'd like to do nothing sometimes.
Yes, but like the days where they actually want us here in the building...
Yeah, I get it.
Then, yeah, might as well do something while we're here.
Yeah.
But...
God, dude, my teeth hurt. I put in new Invisalign trays yesterday, and the first couple days that you put in new trays, because they're so tight, it's like if anybody had their braces tightened as a kid.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. It's like even just talking, and I feel like I'm slurring or I have more of a lisp today because this one is just killing me. Like the last couple haven't been bad, which I know means it's working, and I feel like they're definitely straighter, but like, it feels like... But it's not really painful.
But this time next year, they'll be done.
Be perfect. Not perfect, but pretty close.
And that's not that long ago. Or not that long to go. Like
no, I've already had them on for like 4 months, which is crazy. I'm going to do a progress picture in January. I'll be 1/3 of the way done the second week of January, and I'm going to go in and get a cleaning, and like we're going to do, because he takes the pictures, so I'm going to post something, and I think it's the second week of January. But yeah, it's such a gradual process that it's hard to be like excited every day.
Yeah.
Because I'm staring at my teeth and brushing and flossing and rinsing and doing that all day long. And I'm like, man, I don't see a difference at all. And I get like bummed out. But yeah,
it's working.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely working.
I mean, you could go on another route. I've been thinking about getting into amateur dental repair. So if you want to take those out, I'll just get some tools and, I'll do it for free.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you anywhere near my face with tools.
Dental tools?
It doesn't matter.
There's YouTube videos that I've already watched, so I feel like I know what I'm doing.
Bill's Dentistry? What is this?
Yeah, and it's just a hobby.
Oh, you're just on the side.
Yeah.
You're commissioned work.
It's just for fun.
Cavity commission.
It's for me. It's like, some people do puzzles.
Yeah.
Some people will, golf. I want to move people's teeth around.
It sounds so creepy. I want to move people's teeth around.
I can't say I'm going to fix them.
Right.
But I can move them.
They will be in a different
spot.
They
will be moved.
Your face will look different. Mm-hmm. You will have a different smile when I am done with you. You weirdo.
Well, I just like to think outside the box, and I don't like the limitations that society's always trying to put on people.
Right.
You got to go to school to do things. You know how I feel about school.
I know. You're not a fan.
Eventually, I'll be a real good dentist, all right? Maybe I have to take a different route to get there, but eventually, I'm going to know more about teeth than most dentists.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. And I'll have more of them, too.
No schooling. You're just going to keep them.
Yeah,
they won't all
trophies.
be your teeth.
Right.
But yeah. It'll be like Dexter, how he has
Exactly,
like the
on my
blood slides.
Yeah.
He'll just have teeth in little jars.
Yeah.
Or put them in the little drug baggies. Make a necklace.
Sounds like a good plan. I'm excited about it. Anybody wants me to move their teeth around, let me know.
Stealing molars. Come on.
We have been learning some other stuff. We've been doing some behind-the-scenes radio stuff.
Yes.
And first off, I want to say, Jason, the program director here, dude knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, God.
He's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's very meticulous about it, and he's teaching us all this stuff. And it's such a different part of my brain to exercise. And that's kind of the reason I like it, because it makes me kind of slow down and, like, really concentrate on that, because I really have to pay attention. Where there's a lot of things, I'll do multiple things at once.
Yeah.
And I don't have that same concentration.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel? Well, I don't know what you're learning.
So I'm learning timing. So I'm making sure we go to breaks at the right time to, straddle the quarter hours to get so the books are good.
Yeah.
Those are all terms he said. I don't know if he said them in that order or whatever,
Right.
but for the most part. But basically making sure everything's running on time and we're not going long and commercials are starting when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning that, and it's not super hard, but then there's little tiny things that you can miss and screw things up.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of the same thing with what I'm doing. For me, this type of work, and I'm going to refer to it as this, so Jason, if you listen to this, I don't mean it in a condescending way, like busy work, where it's not super hard. Once you get it, it's not a difficult task. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's also,
and that's just for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's meticulous, but it's not necessarily difficult.
Right. But it's not busy, because busy work, to me, when I hear that's things you're doing that you go, okay, you did all this, and then you can throw it away. Like, that's, like, busy work.
Busy work to me is like
I felt like,
just kind of get this done. And so busy, that's why I said busy work isn't the right term.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right term is for that type of work, where it's not
just like little, it needs to be done, but it's tedious.
Tedious, yeah. It's one of those things where, and then once you get the hang of it, it gets easier and easier. But that kind of stuff,
but like the first few times, it feels like, oh man, this
I'm
is
never
so much.
gonna understand this.
And like I've had to do some editing and stuff like that, where the first 2 or 3 times, I'm like, this is so much. And then like now I can do it like that. And I'm like, this is, why was I so freaked out about this?
Right, I was so nervous. Right, exactly, yeah. Those types of tasks I feel like I do very well with, where some people, and I think that most people.
I pick up on them fast.
Yeah.
Like I pick up, and he's trying to explain stuff to me. He's like, now this is going to take a while for you to figure out. I'm like, actually, I got it.
Yeah.
Like I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I know I need more repetition to do it quickly, but I could if you asked me to do this again today, I could do this again today. Yeah. Without any problem.
Yeah. Those types of things, the type A part of my brain really likes. The organized, everything's in its place, everything has to go. It's the ritual of it. I like that. I like that it's going to be the same thing every time you do it. It's never going to change. And there's a certain, I think when you have such a creative kind of off the wall job like we have between stand up and radio, where things are, sure, the idea of it's the same, but things are different every single day, that when you tapping into that other side of it, where it's like these 5 steps are always going to be done. Yes.
I kind of like that. Task. I do too. And that's kind of why, they're doing a lot of restructuring here at iHeartRadio. When that happened, we both went to him and we're like, hey, what can we help out with and learn just so we know more about this business? Because we really have no background in radio. So like, I wanted to know why things are the way they are and why we play what we play and all the different things. And so learning that side of it's been cool, but then having those kind of not mindless but repetitive tasks to do, where you can just kind of focus on that one thing and everything else gets blocked out.
Well, I like
that.
Also, I'm a creature of habit in some ways. Like, I think because work can be so all over the place and kind of mentally exhausting sometimes, when it comes to like day-to-day stuff, like I have pretty much the same morning routine every single morning. Like, where I wake up, I make my bed, I lint roll it because I clean my Invisalign trays, and then I go make breakfast. Like, that's every single morning I'm doing that. And if it's done out of order, it irks me. I don't like to do things like, as soon as I get out of bed, if I'm done for the day, I have to make my bed. I make my bed and I lint roll it immediately because I don't want any hair on it or anything like that. I let the cat sleep with me, and it's annoying to have to do that every day. But
you made that part of your routine, so it lowers the amount of annoying it is because you know you're going to do that regardless.
Yeah. Like, and so if I'll do that, and then I'll like go clean my Invisalign trays and do all that, take them out for the day, and then I'll make and eat breakfast, and then go put them back in, and then I clean my apartment. Even cleaning my apartment, I live alone, so it's like I'll fold the blanket I used on the couch the night before and do the dishes.
Now
and
here's
things
the thing:
that.
because I have a dishwasher, I let stuff build up a little bit. Like I'll go 2 days without really doing dishes, and they'll be like in the sink. Would that make you crazy?
No, because you want to know what it is. Normally it would, but because I have less to do, I'm not traveling as much. Obviously, that doesn't bother me. Like, I was just having this conversation.
Yeah, if I was gone, like if I go out of town, I make sure everything's cleaned up before I go.
But like when I have 5 tasks I have to do with no real timeline. Like, I had to get an oil change. I have to get technically, yes, it's on a timeline, right? But like just little things that I have to do. If I don't have a 100%, I have to be out of town Thursday, so this has to get done by Wednesday. It'll take me 2 weeks to do it.
Oh,
because
mailing
I'm like,
things. Like, that's like when I would have to mail things, and I've
it's
gotten a lot better at it.
The
simplest thing.
Take 5 minutes.
I haven't bought a broom. I need a broom because like I have a vacuum. And I have like a mop and all that stuff, so that's how I usually clean my floors. But it would be convenient to just have a broom and a dustpan for little things.
Yeah.
And it's been on my list for months, and I'm like, that's what I'm going to do today. And then I forgot to do it this morning, and so it's probably not going to get done today.
I think
but maybe I'll do it after this. I don't know.
With the whole pandemic and stuff, because I like rituals and stuff like that, and all of that being thrown off, or when I was traveling every other weekend and I'm out of town, 30 weeks a year, you can't put things off because these things need to get done. Otherwise, your car will break down. You know what I mean?
Your car breaks down. You don't have clothes to wear. You don't have the right stuff for your merch.
Yeah.
So
you have to have things in an order to do that kind of stuff. So now when I just don't, it feels so like life doesn't matter, because I'm just like, whatever. I can do it today. I could do it next week. I could do it in a month, and it doesn't matter. Well,
when I go to a hotel, what I usually do, and I developed this habit on the road, is I would go in and I take all my clothes and put them in the drawers in the room if I was staying more than one day.
Yeah.
So if you're there for a weekend, you're there 3 nights.
I hang my stuff up.
I'd hang up what I had to hang up, but then there's also stuff like underwear and stuff I'd put in the drawer, and then I know that as I wear it, I'm putting it back into my suitcase.
Yeah.
And that way I wouldn't lose things. And it was like, and people would be like, "You actually use the drawers in the hotel? I've never seen that before." I'm like, it helps me so I know what I've worn, what I haven't worn, and like it's just part of my process.
Yeah, for sure. But
and you also realize how much time you have to kill in a hotel before you have shows. So you're like,
just hang up these clothes.
I got time.
Right. Yeah. But I think that part of my brain, the ritualistic part of it, enjoys this type of work. And I've never really stared at a computer screen before. I've never had a job that required me to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've only ever bartended and done stand-up.
Yeah.
And I worked in retail when I was younger. I mean, that was like 12 years ago, though, And that's a different type of thing.
In Jason's office and
going
just
through
like
stuff. Scrolling and looking, and it's straining on your eyes.
It's really straining, and it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I've been doing this for an hour and a half. I need to get up and just walk around.
Well, my thing is that it makes me tired.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my eyes get blurry, and then I just want to close them and go to sleep. And I realize, I'm like, God damn, like some people do this 8 hours a day. I feel for you. If you are like you sit at a desk with a computer, more power to you, man. I don't know how you do it.
It's tough stuff. All right, and let's get to some... Oh, I think we got more.
More voicemails?
Oh, no. So here's something that I seem like I've done a lot lately, is I've injured myself in very stupid ways. Like little things, nothing serious, but like just like little careless things. Like, the other night I was making a microwave dinner, and I opened it too fast and gave myself a pretty good steam burn.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I was like for the rest of the night, it didn't get red or anything like that, but I could feel it.
Yeah, it hurt.
And I was just like, God damn it, you're so stupid.
Yeah.
You know not to do that.
Yes.
It says on the package.
It says not to do it.
Just wait.
Let's
a little bit.
Stand 1 minute.
1 minute, yes. And here you are. You know you're not going to eat it right then.
Right.
So why are you pulling the plastic back?
Right.
Stupid idiot. And then another time I got a paper cut, but not just a regular paper cut, a cardboard paper cut on my hand because instead of like cutting open a box, I just like gorilla handed my fist into it. And it's like, give me that stuff.
And it's like in the webbing.
It was in the palm of my hand, and it was.
It's making my throat feel weird. Like I really can't sit. Paper cuts weird me out, man. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. And I've gotten the cardboard ones, like trying to slide your fingers in to open it. Like if you cut it a little bit and then it's like gets stuck. Oh man, that's the worst feeling.
But hold on. People are asking, can we text this number too? Yes, you can.
Oh,
so
look at that.
If you send text messages, I'll also see those to this number. So yeah.
I am clumsy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like
I'm
bumping into
very
tables.
clumsy.
And like for someone that is as agile as you are, you're also really clumsy too.
I'm very athletic, but I fall down a lot.
Yeah.
Like that is one of the things where I will lose my footing so quick. But I bump into things. Like I'll just turn a corner too tight, not realizing it, and bang my shoulder into the wall. I do stuff like that. Honestly, a couple times a week where it's something completely avoidable where if I were just paying a little bit more attention, it wouldn't happen. Where I'll cut a corner too quick and hit my shoulder, or like I'll go to stand up and knee my shin right into the coffee table. I'm like, come on, man. Just pay attention to what you're doing.
The spatial awareness ones are just ridiculous. And I move things around my condo because I'm getting some new furniture, a pool table.
Boop, boop.
Is that furniture?
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
It's got the word table in it.
Yeah, there you go. So I move some stuff around. And so things are a little bit tighter, and I've been doing that a lot more where I'm just like clipping the edge of my table.
Yes, with like a hip or something.
And it's funny watching my dog navigate it because she is pretty, like she'll just tear through there, but she'll like sometimes misjudge it and like I'll throw something and she'll just like turn and whack her head.
You stupid.
And you're just like, you knew it was there. And
right.
she's just like, I'm just excited to go get that ball.
Right.
It's a good ball.
Yeah, dude, I do stuff like that all the time. I'm not great with stairs.
Really?
Like I'm
not great with stairs.
No, like there's a lot of times where I'll miss the last step. You know what I mean? Like where I'll think there's one more step and you take that big one onto the landing and your knee kind of buckles. Like I do that kind of stuff a lot. I just think, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm saving all of my my brainiac, my smartness and my creativity for my job.
For your job, for comedy and radio.
That I can just fall down some stairs.
So that you are like, how many stairs left? Who knows? There's no way to know.
Like living on the 3rd floor now, I'll hit my toe more than once.
Yeah.
And then like I'll usually be carrying something. It's not great.
For Kat on the chat, she asked when will yesterday's Alan Cox Show be available on YouTube. I had to edit out some Fleetwood Mac music that was in there, so it should be available within the next 24 hours. But that's a song that we played Dreams yesterday, and that got the live stream blocked. So it takes a while because it's a long program. So you cut that music out and you have to re-upload it, and because it's so long, it takes a while to process. So that should be up, in the next day or so.
Yeah.
But all right, this is fun.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Did you guys all subscribe? Let's see how many subscribers we got. Now, I was hoping for a little more interactivity from more like phone calls and stuff like that.
That's okay. It's
but
day
it's the
one.
first day.
We
figured it out. We got things going. Oh, there's one more thing before we go.
Oh, boy.
The scariest thing happening right now in the world. Do you know anything about the big hack that's going on?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, there is a very terrifying hack of many of our big government programs.
Okay.
And the top people that are, internet hacker stoppers. I don't know. I don't know the language of it.
Protectors.
Yeah, but I was reading about it last night.
Web.
And they're like, it keeps me awake at night knowing the information that they could have the access that they have. We don't even have any idea what they know or don't know or where, So what they don't know is what's so scary because it's such a sophisticated hack that it's very hard to detect what they have access to. Mm-hmm. And it's like this program that's
Are you talking about like the healthcare system or like Social Security?
I'm talking about like all of our government agencies.
Okay.
Like that stuff.
Secrets.
Yeah, like the secrets.
They're gonna get into the files.
Yeah, they got access to all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's pretty terrifying, and it's one of those things where you just go, okay, maybe we gotta figure out some different ways to do things, because as much as computers are good, when they get access to these networks, it's hard to stop that.
Yeah.
And when you just have like a file in a cabinet and you lock it, and you go, okay, nobody's got it.
Yeah, but people can still break in.
Yeah, still will break in.
Not from Russia or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, they could, but it's more, but it I feel like it's easier or more accessible when it's online, because people have such like sophisticated hacking skills that they can get around the firewalls and the protections that are in place. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, I know I should be more freaked out about this, but it's one of the things where I just stopped reading it because I'm like, I don't want to scare myself.
If I ignore it, it'll go away.
Well, whatever. It's literally like, I don't know.
No, I get you. When it comes to stuff like that, I don't understand how it works, so reading into it is either only going to confuse me or scare me.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it was doing to me last night. I was just reading about this, and I'm just like, okay, so nothing's safe, everything's out there.
Yeah.
And all of our, secrets are, and I don't know what our secrets are, but they're not good.
There's got to be some.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot. I think there's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's creepy.
Here's a question for us. Hey, guys, do your significant others get jealous of your guys' friendship? Not even one bit at all.
We worked together and we were friends before that.
Yeah, I know my girlfriend because of you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
No.
Not really.
I don't really, and we don't like hang out. When
we do.
When I wasn't on the show, we were hanging out pretty regularly.
Yeah, but even if like we hang out, like even before.
If you were to come to my apartment and hang out, it wouldn't be weird.
It wouldn't be weird
to any party.
Because like we'll just sit there and watch stuff. Like we used to do the wine and wines where we would sit there and drink wine and then
just bitch.
talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
And it's always just been like a friendship situation, and people always want us to like get together or something, but it's just never had that dynamic.
Right. No, it's not weird.
No, I agree.
That was a big part of dating for me. I mean, I've been single the last 30,
But you also have
40
so
years.
many male friends, too.
Well, that's why it was such an important thing for me to be with somebody who was very self-confident. It's because, like, I have almost exclusively male friends. Like, my female friends, I have my sisters, and then my two really good friends, Ashley and Kelsey. And then I have people that I like, but mainly the people I'm going to be with and spending time with are all guys. And so I can't have somebody who's, like, weird about that. Especially, like
what's going on with you two?
Yeah, like going on the road. And if I travel with a comedian and we do 4 nights in different cities and we're in a car, you know what I mean? Like,
and like my girlfriend is in the... she's a food service industry, so she mostly works with guys, so she's got a lot of guy friends.
Because she's in the kitchen.
Yeah, she's
which
in
is
the
mostly
kitchen.
dudes in the kitchen,
so, like, those are her friends, and so I got to be cool with that, too, because it doesn't make sense for me to have female friends, because I have, you're a good friend, but I have, like, a lot of female friends, and me to expect her to be cool with it, and I'm not cool with it.
Right.
Going the other way.
Yeah, that's more of a personal issue, I think. If they were to be weird about it, that's an insecurity in them.
Well, that's like something
like we're not
I've definitely
giving
dealt with
reasons,
in the past.
You know what I mean?
Like there's definitely something I've dealt with in the past with exes where they would get jealous of female friendships of mine, and they'd just be like, "How come you need?" And like one of them, she's like, "So when are you and so going to start dating?" I'm like, "Well, it's like I told you the whole time." Not really.
I was going to say, was there ever anybody they were worried about that you did end up hooking up with?
No, because if it was someone that I was hooking up with, they wouldn't know who they were.
No, I mean like
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
I get what you're saying. Okay.
So like and that's what I was saying. Like someone, I told this person, I'm like, this person's a really good friend of mine, and you need to appreciate that, and not appreciate it, but respect it.
Yeah.
And then when we broke up, they're like, "So are you guys gonna start dating?" I'm like, No, because it was always a friendship.
Right.
And that's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's changed about that situation.
With one of my exes, it was, I was always very nervous about his female friendships, and then ended up being right twice.
Yeah.
When I was like, oh, so as soon as we broke up, you did exactly what I thought you were going to do.
Yeah.
So I think it's times like that just wrecks people for years.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, I friggin' knew it. Like, it's all those memes that's like,
and
you
that's
versus the girl
too.
he told you not to worry about or whatever. Like,
Is the one that I'm talking about here, she got with the guy that I was nervous about.
Yeah.
Because she had a friendship with him, and I don't think it was ever but it's definitely like emotional cheating. And
Yeah.
so, like,
Oh, yeah.
they're still together to this day, and like I've had to make my peace with it. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so you were projecting onto me.
100%.
Because when you see me being friends with someone, you think I'm building
Because
something that's not there.
you know how you feel about that guy.
Yeah.
She knew how she felt about that guy.
Yeah.
And that she was probably fooling around or at least, like you said, emotionally cheating.
Yeah.
So when she sees you with another girl, she's like, oh, he's doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what gets into people's heads. And it's when they say, like, cheaters are usually the ones who accuse the other partner.
Right.
And that's when they start to get weird and insecure. It's like, well, if I'm stepping out, she might be stepping out. And then they start throwing
Yeah, 'cause, like,
accusations around. And
like the emotional cheating thing is a whole nother ball of wax, but it's one of those things where I was looking for something that I didn't have in those relationships. And then, like, I got into some relationships early on where I hadn't really been in relationships, and I didn't know, like we talked about this at the beginning of the episode, where I didn't know how to express my grievances with her without, like, becoming a fight.
Yeah. That happened earlier in the year. We were talking, my boyfriend and I were talking about insurance, and he was saying how he hasn't gone to the doctor in years, and I started to get really pissed because I was like, dude, you have great insurance. Like, why aren't you taking advantage of it? Like, someone like me who doesn't have insurance, and we're not going to get into that whole thing, but it's like I was getting upset with him where I was like, it's not, I know you're not doing it at me. Like, you're not skipping the doctor, the dentist to make me mad. But as someone who, like, all I've ever wanted was to be able to go to a primary care physician and it not cost me $300, like, it pissed me off. And
it's very, it's just not cool.
Well, when we were talking about
upsetting.
it, and I was telling him, I was like, listen, if that's like what you want to do, that's fine. That's who you are. I can't make you do stuff. Like, but I would just prefer if we don't talk about it. He's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, so if you're not going to take care of things, I don't want to hear you complain about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you have access to healthcare, you are choosing not to use it. I don't want to hear about how your back hurts. Like, you have the answer and you won't solve it. So, and he even asked me, he's like, are we fighting right now? I was like, we're not fighting. I'm just
telling you how things are.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm telling you how, like, it is.
Right. Yes.
One thing that I did with Sam the other day is, she was blowing off steam about something, and I was just like talking to Whoopsie, but really talking to her. I'm like, Whoopsie, does she want me to fix her problem, or does she just want me to know about her problem?
That was a big thing, and we're talking about communication.
Yeah.
That was such a big thing to realize.
If you want me to fix it, I'll help you fix it. But if you just want me to know about it, then I will just listen.
On both of our sides, where it's like, hey. And that's how we start our conversations now. Like, it's like, hey, I just want to bitch real quick. It's like, cool, let it go.
Yeah.
Let them vent. Let them get it out. I'm not going to try to fix anything. Or I'd say, hey, what do you think about this? Like, here's a problem. What do you think? Like, those are two different things, is like asking for help, or I just want to vent for a little while. And I think understanding the difference in that, or just blatantly saying, hey, just want to bitch for a couple minutes. And they're like, okay, all ears. What do you need?
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Make it clear.
Right.
Let people know.
Oh, my God. That is like a lifesaver.
Assume that everybody's like day one with you.
Yeah.
And they don't know how you're, if you want to bitch, make sure they know you're just bitching.
Yes.
And not looking for, and that's kind of what we would do with the wine and wines, where we're just like, we're not looking for it. We wanted to get it off our chest. Yes. And that's a nice thing to have.
That's very important.
And it's
in
also,
any kind of, even in just like a friendship. Because I think when you care about somebody, you want to fix their problems.
Yeah.
And so you're going to rack your brain, and then when they start like shooting down your ideas, you're like, oh, no, that's not what I was looking for in the first place, Or
they're giving you a very simple solution to things. Like, because the other night, Sam was in her feelings about something. Yeah. And I'm like, I know you're just doing, like, the solution to this. Yeah. And you're going to take care of it. But it's really hard for me to not right now just go, well, just go do that.
Right.
Do that thing that you're bitching about that is not going to take that long.
Right.
But you feel this pressure, and even though it's not even really about that thing, it's about another thing.
Yeah.
And you just go, but instead you shut up and you go, I understand.
That's it.
Yeah,
Just
I understand.
that sucks, babe.
It sucks.
I'm real sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it does kind of seem when you're the one saying like that sucks. I'm sorry. I understand. It does.
It seems like you're not doing anything.
It seems like you don't care.
Yeah.
But when it's like, no, that's just what they asked for. Like they just wanted to get it off their chest. And and you're right. Mm-hmm. Your feelings are valid, and I'm sorry you're feeling that way. I'm sorry you're going through that. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Very important.
Very, very important. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of The Bill Squire Show. It will also be up on iHeartRadio and iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you could. I appreciate that a lot. And then we'll be back tomorrow at 3, and then we'll be back again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week at 3 o'clock. Feel free to call the number, leave us voicemails. You can text it, and that's that.
This is the Bill Squire Show.